What's up, Dad? Good morning, T-Man. Well, we made it to the final two just in time for the Masters to start today. So now we're switching from basketball to golf. All right, so a couple of things. We have 4 people watching. I think we're live now. So, Dad, you can confirm that. Make sure you can hear everything. We're going to go over the 2 licks that we have for the Final Four. What's up, Hugh? Good to see you. Hugh is the bookends of iMusicAcademy, always at the beginning, always at the end, and in the middle as well. So you guys have decided the Final Four, of course, and those are the ones who, for all access, and for those who have the bundle edition of our newest course, we're doing in all keys. And then these last 2 licks that you're voting on, today is the last day. In fact, lunchtime, I'm cutting off the voting. And then that way I can go ahead and start working on the last training. And that is the Final Four in all keys, and then the 10 different bass lines. And so a couple things we're going to do this morning is just simply take those 2 bass lines and think about which we're going to do 6 bass lines from the 10 that we're going to do. So basically, I'm going to show you different ways to use the final 2 licks that you guys are deciding. And we are live on our YouTube channel as well, just publicly. So anybody who wants to vote, you can even vote on which lick you prefer out of these 2. It's a very close race right now. We're down to the final 2. We're going to pick the final one by lunchtime, and then I'll get to work on the extra training from the course. So several of you bought the bundle course and from the 16 sweet licks, and so that includes 4 keys that you guys voted on in all keys. And then we're doing 10 different bass lines over one of these 2 licks, and that's why everybody gets to vote. The link is in the description. And let's dig in and start learning this stuff. Let me say hello to everyone. Dad, again, good morning to you, Hugh, to Vicky, good to see you. And Rick is in the house. Good to see you, Rick. All right, so let's go ahead and go over the last 2 licks. So kind of what I thought you would do. You pick this as one of the licks, but and we're going to talk about why each one is so important and how to use this with the different bass lines. The next thing we're going to talk about is this other one. So we have this one we're going to work on, and then this. Let me do that again. Now, on the all keys version, the final 4, those were 2 of the licks, and then the other 2, which were really important, but you guys gave me, so we're going to have some serious work to do, because one of the licks you guys voted for was this, that goes. Now, you guys voted on that for all keys. That made our final 4. So just know that that's going to be interesting to go through that, and you guys will have training in all keys on that. All right, let's talk about some different bass lines. So at iMusicAcademy, we do these bass lines all the time. We do quarter notes, eighth notes. These are eighth notes, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And you do quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And we also do from Blues Volume 4, we have this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So let's do not one of the 2 licks, because we're going to get to those in just a minute. But let's just say you wake up and you want something good to practice. This idea of the most popular lick at iMusicAcademy was this right here. And did this make the Final 4? This might have made the Final 4. But anyway, you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And what I want to show you now, before we get into those 2 licks, is how you can take something like this, a familiar lick that's really working the fingers, and do some different bass lines. It's really important to work on our different bass lines, and if you agree, put yes in the chat. It can take one lick or one idea and totally transform the way it sounds, the way it feels, if you change the bass line. And so I'm just going to demonstrate this one lick with some different bass lines. Okay, one idea is you can do this. eighth notes. We know that. That's how we started these courses. And remember, whenever you're doing this bass line right here, 1 and then 2 and then, you need to think of 1 and then. So the first beat gets 2 parts of the triplet, 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 and. So when you put that together, 1 and then a piano a little bit louder. Okay, let me just check to see where the piano is. Vicky says the piano needs to be a little bit louder. Let me just check. And Vicky's right. It's a little bit down. All right, see, this is why it's so important to have you guys. Whoa, there we go. Good catch, Vicky. Now let me turn it down on mine since it's blowing my ears out this. All right, is that better? Okay, that's one bass line. We've been working on that. And just remember that if you're struggling with this, if you're a beginner, more on the beginner side, and you playing it like this, and you're trying to get your feel together, all you have to do is think in triplets. 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and same thing on the right hand. 1 and then 2 and then 3. So I go 1 and then 1 and then 2 and then 3. Same thing. 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4. And that will help get your feel together. Okay, now we work on that all the time. We also work on quarter notes, which you can straighten it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's easier for some people to do. I kind of like that feel too. This is not one of the 10 bass lines, so just know that there are 10 brand new bass lines for these final 2 licks. Another thing, and let me give you another bass line that we do often at iMusicAcademy. We do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, everybody say hey to Vance. Poetic Justice just came in the chat. He's the poet that'll let you know it. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I love this lick right here, this bass line right here, because my blues volume 4, I did 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 is all the way through using that bass line. And I did that on purpose, so you have licks like this. And it just feels really good. A lot of our really cool, interesting bass lines from our licks from Blues Volume 4 fit perfect over that style, and I just love the feel of that. But this bass line right here, what you have to do is isolate this and think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. It doesn't matter what key I'm in. F, C, G, same exact motion. Now I want to take it a step further. We're going to talk about if you're having this lick right here and you're working on this, it's good to do a comping chord in the middle of all that. So sometimes you hear 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the way we do that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's kind of the offbeat. Isn't that a fun feel to be able to play this? And 4. So most of the time you're going to be on the and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you can be on the downbeat. Okay, we have enough people in here to start talking about these 2 different licks, and I'm going to show you about 5 or 6 different bass lines. Before I do that, I need everybody to listen very, very closely. If you're on YouTube and you're all of a sudden seeing us and you're hanging out, you will notice something. If you go to my website, you will see that for this week only, and you're on my email list, which is several thousand people, that I decided to do something different with. I created a 5-course bundle. If you're watching this right now, you need to hear this. A 5-course bundle. Why in the world would I do that? Because you know my newest course, Sweet 16 or 16 Sweet Licks, takes out of my 4 blues volumes, it takes what I feel are some of the most useful licks, and we did a whole new course, how to connect them together, how to practice them a little bit different than we did when we first came out with the blues courses. And so it's a really, it's an 85-minute course, and I absolutely love our new course. I love the technology that we're using and the PDF and the 85-minute training, all that, and the way they connect to my old courses. My old courses, I think I started in 2016 with Volume 1 and just kept going. Volume 1, 10 licks. Volume 2, 10 licks, 3 and 4. So we have 40 and just some really neat training. Now, they are older courses, which means my technology is not as crisp. It's still video, audio, and sheet music, detailed sheet music, but it's just a little bit, it's not as crisp as the newer courses. And they progressively get a little better each one. But here's what I decided to do is I said it's like $5 per volume, and I created this bundle. So for $49, if somebody's watching, you don't have my courses, this is the time to get it. This week only I'm doing this. It's literally the newest course we have for blues piano, the 16 Sweet Licks. And for anybody that gets it over the next couple of days, I'm going to throw in the bundle edition to this. Okay? This is not selling you this. I'm just telling you that I'm going to throw in that training because it'll make it easier for me to not have to think about who got the bundle and who didn't. But for this week only, I'm throwing it all in the bundle. So you'll get the final 4 in all keys. You get the new course, and then you get literally all 4 volumes at $5 each. So the whole shebang, all 5, it's a total of $49. Yeah. So just saying, I just decided, hey, it's old some of my courses, they're older, the older ones, but it's very good content. I still use those all the time, and you're going to have licks that you've never heard before and seen before. And so just know that it's literally, you get the new course plus the other 4 volumes, which is $49, and I'm just going to say that now. And so go to my website, look at the thing. It's 4 volumes of older content, but it's still very good content, and the newest course is awesome, and I just think it's a great deal, and I'm not going to do this again after this. But let's move on and go over we have to get down to the final 2. So the last 2 licks chosen by you guys are this. Right, you have da 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 da. Let's do that again. Now, as we have voted from 16 down to this, I want you to put in the chat if there's a reason why you chose this kind of lick. And then I'm also going to go over the other one. But let's talk about this for the next, we stop at 8:35. We'll probably go to 8:45 today. If you need to drop out, that's fine, but 8:45. So we have about 30 minutes, maybe 25 minutes left. But we're going to do different bass lines over this right here. But put in the chat why you like that particular lick. And the other one we're going to do is the C6 lick. And we're going to do different bass lines over that. And if you're just now joining us, please understand that we're going to take one of these licks, and for your all keys training, not your all keys training, your bass line, 10 different bass lines, it's either going to be this, and lots of different ways you can play that, or it'll be this. So even when you go to the F, it's going to work there, and same thing on G. And what I do love myself about these particular licks is when you do your C6 lick, it's a minor third to major third lick. And that's so important because you can go to whatever chord you're on and do the minor third to major third, okay? And the same thing on when you go to the A, you have this. It still does the minor third. Now when I go to F, I can still do that. So I'm still kind of outlining the F, and even on G I can do that. So for the E. Or all right, let's talk about different bass lines. So you have to remember that I need you to decide and make sure you vote inside the description right there. And I'll just put another link because we've got to get this down. It was tied when I got up this morning. It was 50-50 percentage. All right, here we go. So all it is a simple form, which one you prefer for the different bass lines. Now let's get into these bass lines. I wrote down 5 new bass lines plus one that is not really new. It's from Blues Volume 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So this is not one of the new ones that we're going to talk about today, but this is number 6. I planned on doing 5 alternate bass lines this morning, but I at least wanted to start here because you guys are starting to get this one. And remember, when you're practicing this bass line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and you have to get the end of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, let's go ahead and dig into these. The first one, I'm going to do a pretty easy one at first, okay? So this one is C to G, and we're going to go middle finger to second finger. You can go 3-3 if you want. I don't like that for me personally. I like 3-2. Now go ahead and let me know in the chat if you prefer 3-3 or if you like 3-2. Here's how that would sound over one of these licks. Okay, and 2 and. You like 3-2? Okay. All right. Now I have about 27 different bass lines that I think 27, 28 that I've done at iMusicAcademy, and I've written all of them out. And so I have tons of bass lines written out. And I want to know, how does this one feel under the hand? This is a famous kind of lick, or a bass line, and you have to get used to it. Okay, so you have either 3-2 or 3-3, Vance. For me, I like 3-2 for that, okay? So you can practice this. So some of these, I'll practice the 2 licks that we have left. Or sometimes I'll do this, just so you can hear the difference. Okay, so here's how you're going to practice this, just like all the other bass lines. Practice hands separate, 1 and 2 and 3, and the tricky thing about this particular bass line is it's the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and, is that you have to go 1 and, you just have to repeat it right off the bat. So you go. Every time you get to that C and G, you're going to repeat it. And if you understand that, put God in the chat. We're going to go on to the next bass line. So notice that I did both licks. I did this from our final 2. I did this, da 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 da, and I did this, the triplet lick. Now Now, if you practice this 1 and 2 and left hand only, you're going to build up some muscle memory. So just have no fear there. All right, and I'll wait for you guys to put that in the chat, that you understand, one, that it's 1 and 2 and 3 and. All right, the next bass line we're going to do, I think you guys are going to really like. It's this idea of quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Hugh's going to really like this one. Now what's happening is we're doing C, E, G, and then instead of this kind of thing, we're going up to the A note, which is really important, and then the B flat. And then I'm going to show you one little alternate move you can do to make this really nice. Now what's nice about this really makes me think of like an upright bass player if you're playing in a trio setting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't that sound nice? A little tension there. Okay, now let's talk about a different way to turn that around. I would like to know if you guys like this bass line. The reason I like this bass line is because it's just kind of, yeah, Vicky said, the 4 on the floor, right? That's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going up to this triad, and then the 6th note, and then the flat 7, which is really important as we're transposing this. Up to the flat 7, and then same thing on G. Right, and then here. Now I want to show you something really important that's happening, is that you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the way back down I can go 4 and I want you to hear the difference. See what I did there? I go 3, 4, and just went back E, G, so 3 up to the 5. So let's put that with the lick. You hear how nice that is? I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and ba-da-bum. And Rick and Vance, it really helps us get to where we're going next. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Ba-da-da. Nice little kind of an enclosure-ish there. Da-da. Now get back to the C. Watch this. Now, let's go ahead and take a little pause. We still have 4 different bass lines we're gonna do next. So isn't this fun? A fun way to do this. All right, if you're just now watching us, remember that we are voting on our last 2. Anybody can vote. You don't have to have any of my courses, but vote on if you like this as in our final 2 of the Sweet 16. We're gonna vote on either this lick or this one as the grand champion of the tournament, and we're going to put that with all the different bass lines for those that have the course or your all access group. All right, here we go. So the next thing we're going to do is I want you to know, as you're learning these bass lines right here, I would use this fingering 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, and then go back down, and then here I go 3, 2, 1. And then notice that occasionally I'm doing a comping chord. Now remember that a comping chord is something that kind of complements the soloist. In this case, I'm the soloist doing da 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 da. And then in my right hand or my left hand, my right hand, but in between those, I'm doing the comping chord. A comping chord in this case is just 2 notes. It's the third of the C chord and the flat 7. That's all you need. They're called guide tones. If I go here to here, doesn't that outline a C chord nicely when I play that together? I could go. Okay, now let's keep going. And I'm gonna give you one more tip. So you're doing this right here, either this lick or this. So notice how I can change it around. You can change it around. You learn this, da 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 da, and then all of a sudden you have this, da 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 da. I can play it like this. And the only reason I could do that is because we're practicing left hand, we're building up muscle memory, and then you can really start focusing on the right hand. Okay, Vance says he's been doing the wrong fingering on that bass line for decades. Well, Vance, I can't tell you what the correct bass line is, but it sounds like when you play this, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, that it makes it flow, right? It makes it flow a lot better. And so that's what we're looking for. We're building up muscle memory, things that fit under the hand. And then, like Vance is saying, he feels like he's been doing the wrong fingering. And that's one thing that I think I can help everyone with is using the right fingerings. Okay, so let's keep going. If you are loving what we're doing, I want you to hit that like button and maybe even follow us if you want to do that. We only have 3 people that have liked this video. Maybe there's a problem there. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so the next one, let's do we did the quarter notes, we did the Latin. Let's just talk through the boogie woogie, okay? Don't be scared about this. Like you hear this boogie woogie pattern, this idea. Now there are a couple different boogie woogie patterns. One that we do that Oscar Peterson would do all the time. He would do this one right here and kind of double time it, but it's this one, right? Everybody knows this. You've heard this. Now that's a fun workout in itself, but Oscar Peterson would do this, which is kind of funny. But anyway, this right here, C, we're outlining the C triad in the same way that we did this. But now we're working our fingers, we're working on the span of the octave. If you're okay with this, put got it in the chat. And notice that right now I'm just doing left hand only. We're working on the spacing of the octave. Now, just like everything, you learn how to play a C triad, you learn how to play licks, patterns, ideas. This is something you just have to get used to doing, the space of an octave. And even when I go from C to C, and then I go up to E, I have to bring in my hand, and then I go, okay, now that I need that spacing of the octave again. And then I'm here, yeah. Kind of has that mess around feeling, right? But really fun bass line to do. So if we're gonna put this with our right hand licks, I'm gonna do it slowly, here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Or this. If I'm going to play that and not get my hands all tangled up, I'm going to go up the octave. Okay, so at first that's going to feel really tricky to everybody. If you've never done that before, it's going to feel tricky, but that's part of the fun of learning about these different bass lines. You're going to practice this left hand only, and maybe you want to put it with something like this, right? Example 1. A little tension there, but I like it. I could go. Okay, you want to do that. Isn't that a fun thing to do? What about when you go to F and back to C? Vance always bring in some really good questions to the group chat. And Vance says when you go about from F back to C. Okay, so watch this, Vance. We're going to go. Here we go. And then just go up a half step. So watch this. Notice that when I went to G, I just did the triad. I could go up, but sometimes you could just go here. And here's something I hadn't even planned on showing you guys, but if I'm doing a turnaround, I could go chromatically up. Now we have 9-10 people watching. I'm gonna tell you guys something that is gold. Somebody write gold in the chat, because this is gonna be gold. I'm gonna practice this until you guys put gold. Enough people in the chat. There's a little bit of tension there. All right, we have 1 gold. I need more gold. And while you guys are putting gold in the chat, we have a couple more bass lines to do. We have 10 minutes to do it. 10 minutes left in this live stream. Here's what I need you guys to do. I need you to make sure you vote. We were tied this morning. We're getting from this lick is going to be our champion, or this lick is going to be our champion, and the 10 bass lines go with that. And then we're at our final 4 licks. I think it might be. I'm trying to think what the 4th final 4 lick is. This is 1. This is 2. The other is this. All keys. We're doing that. All right. Here's your gold moment. Okay. Make sure you like this video. I need people liking this awesome content. It is awesome content. I don't say that because of me, because anything that I'm showing you is something that I've learned from somebody else. Sometimes I do my own thing and think about different ways to play things, but I'm just using the things that I've learned or heard in the past and trying to show you how to do the same thing. So I don't give any credit to myself. I'm just having fun just like you guys. So watch this. Here's the gold. If you press your pedal down, this is gonna sound horrible, but let's just say, and I push my pedal down, I go, right? It's just a blurred line and everything. But we do want things to connect, right? Whenever I'm gonna go back and show you a simple quarter note bass line. When you guys are learning about blues, when we're all learning about the blues, and you're like, oh, I got to go to F, and sometimes it doesn't sound as connected. Watch. So here's the gold. Very important tip. I think of my thumb as a pedal. So I want you to watch this very closely. I'm cruising around in F. Now watch when I go to the F chord. I'm cruising around in C. Here's the 4th time. I did that wrong. Here we go. And then watch when I go back to C. do it on G now. Watch. All right, again. Watch my thumb. So it's a very subtle but super important thing. As I'm going from C, the and of 4 is getting the next key as a pedal. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Watch on G. If you understand that, got it in the chat, because I need to make sure you guys are understanding. It's basically like using pedal with my thumb. I'm using the and of 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 to make it a smooth connection. I'm not staying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, so do you see how I'm anticipating the next chord? And I write these out too. Like if you get all of my my PDFs that I do from the courses, it shows you that in there. We don't sit around 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. No, it's this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Watch back to C. And the same thing on G. All right, now we have 9 people watching and a couple bass lines left. I needed everybody to listen very carefully. So with our new chorus, we did the 16 sweet licks, right? That's really, really important to know that we have those crazy licks, and those are awesome. But from my 4 volumes, again, my older material that I put for $5 each just this week is a crazy bundle. Go to iMusicAcademy.com. But here's what I want you guys to know. There are certain licks that I absolutely love from the course, from my old courses that weren't even in the Sweet 16. This idea right here, when we play the octave is so important. And what I want you to know is I do licks that show you different notes you can use within the octave. So like this, we could go 2 and 3 and 4. Now, that's kind of like a lick and an exercise at the same time, but here's what it's doing. It's showing you the importance of the octave. The flat 7, you can use the 6, you can use the flat 6, and then you can use the first 5 notes of the blues scale. So you have this idea of doesn't matter what key you go to, you're really doing some crazy ear training. Same thing. What a cool thing. And just know that my 4 blues volumes that I'm throwing in there this week for this crazy deal is literally all kinds of crazy licks like that to go along with the new stuff as well. All right, now here we go. We have a couple more bass lines. We did the quarter note bass line. Let's do the Ray Charles. This is a good one. This is from What I'd Say, and you guys know from my shapes course, from my 20 tips for 5-minute practice success. We do this all the time right here. That's probably one of my favorite courses as well. I always tell you guys some of my favorite courses, the 20 tips for 5-minute practice success. We do the Ray Charles ideas. Like you only have 5 minutes you want to practice. We love the Ray Charles of the down home fingering, what I like to call down home fingering, and where you're sliding like 3 to 3, 3 to 3. Those, we have to get those in our playing, right? And then this bass line is, everybody loves this bass line. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. If you put this, let me know in the chat. And the key to this bass line, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, is the second note. 1, 2, and. You got to give me 2 and with the third finger. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. That's the other trick, is the first time through, it's 4 and. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. The rest of it's on the beat. So if we're going to work on this lick, we're going to go. You can go. Or this. So the trick on the Ray Charles bass line is knowing that you have to hit that second, on the second beat, you're hitting 2 and. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Let's put the other one, other lick. You can also do it like that. But we're going to do this one. Now don't worry, if this wins, I'll show you exactly how to do this in the video training. All that is 1, 2, and. You have to go 2 and. You see how it locks up? We're kind of getting short on time, so I'm going to do 2 more. We have, that's the Ray Charles. And yeah, I'll give you 2 more. One is very simple. I like this idea of, for everybody, like your beginner or your intermediate, you can't go wrong with this simple bass line. This is not one of the 10, but I just want to show you guys 5, 3, 1, and up and down. So I can go da da da, right? And I want to show you the variation. Up and down is really good in any key, but then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and. And I know everybody likes the 4 and. 1, 2, so I go. Isn't that fun and so important? Let's get that bass line down. Just turn on your metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, down, and then give me the 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now, can we end with a crazy bass line? Just put yes in the chat. All right, while you guys are putting hopefully yes in the chat, I want to remind everybody, the voting ends at 12. I don't care if you're an all-access member, a Chord Academy member, just somebody stopping by the YouTube. Hit the description. It's very simple. You don't even have to do anything crazy. You just enter in this lick or this lick or this lick as the final one, and that's going to be the lick that gets the 10 bass lines, okay? All right, so we're going to end with crazy bass line, and then here's what I want you guys to know. I wanted to tell iMusicAcademy 2 important things that are coming. I'm working on a new course for unison playing, right? We've already talked about it. In its most basic sense, I want to teach you how. A lot of people ask, well, how am I doing all these things when I'm playing different blues and jazz ideas and everything fits under the hand and I'm doing unison playing? That means the same notes and doing the same things in both hands, right? And so there's a whole thing that I'm putting together that I'm teaching of exactly how. I had to start thinking, like, how did I first learn how to do that? So which lick didn't make it to the final four, Vance? I'm curious to know. But anyway, so unison playing, there's a big thing about that. So I'm putting together a whole course on that. And there's another course I'm excited about that I'm also working in. I've already done all the homework on it. And I'm about to start recording it. And the other idea is I have come up with, it's 10 different ways within the 5 notes to it's basically learning how to play in all keys, but even this idea of, right? So you go, all of this fits right under here, and so there are 10 different things to show you how to play in different things. Okay, there might be another publication, Vance. All right, explain that. All right, if I know what lick it is, we could talk about it, and I could do more training on it. Okay, so anyway, we've done the shapes like one shape. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. Hold on, here we go. Things ain't what they used to be. The double lick that goes up 2 octaves. You talking about this? Yep, I think that's what the one that Vance is talking about. That's a great lick, and maybe what I could do is, as a fun thing, I might do some how to put that into all keys. How about that? I'll do something. I'll do a training on that. Vance, you'll have to remind me, but we'll talk about that because that's 3 licks in one, and even from that lick right here, which is in volume 2 and it's in the new course. It's not only in volume 2, but it's showing you how to take this lick and turn it into Cruella de Vil and turn it into our, right, that lick as well. And remember that all of these, so you can do bass lines. All right, let's talk about our crazy lick. We're ending with the crazy lick, or the crazy bass line. We're gonna go. And you can type crazy in the chat. Now, to get a lick, bass line like this, you got to get some muscle memory going. 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 1, 2. Here we go. We're gonna go. That's one. What do you think, Rick? Let's do it slow. Pretty crazy, huh? Now, usually I would end with something pretty simple, so maybe I'll just remind you guys again about this one, right? All right, now as we wind up this lesson, I'm over. I know it. I'm over time. Normally we're 35 minutes on a Thursday, and I know that for my all access group. But this is kind of the end of the Sweet 16, right? And now it's golf time of the Masters starting. So I want to thank everybody for being a part of the 16 Sweet Licks. I love the new course. You're going to love it too. It's all of these things that we're doing now and how to practice. Like, how do you practice this lick to where it's how do you connect this lick to this lick right here? And even though we're doing this lick right here, where we go, you also have A blues scale and this which connects perfectly to this. Here we go. And I teach about this in the course as well. Right? Now even this idea right here and this right here, the first four notes, now you put a little Ray Charles in the middle of that. All right, yeah, all right. So, yeah, you guys tell each other bye now. I'm going to say it one more time for anybody hanging out. If you're new to iMusicAcademy, now's the best time. I'm doing my old courses for $5 each. It's still the same amazing content. And then the new course is the same thing. It's 5 total volumes. The new course, the old courses, all for $49 just this week. And then I'm not doing this anymore. And I have some new things we're working on. The unison course, the five note span, the different ways to do the span of 5 notes, but all really cool ways to do that. So I'm excited about that. And then there's one more thing that I'm working on that I'm going to do. It's almost like a gumbo course, and the idea is, you guys know I've been doing some really cool tricks of how to do like your blues where you're going where you're doing pentatonic, and I've been showing you different tricks and ways to do things. As I'm going to do a mix and match where we're doing bass lines, jazz, and how to do like fast track your way into jazz and using these cool techniques that people don't even know about. Even these kinds of things, when I do this, it's really easy and you just think it's hard. All right, so let me say bye to everyone. So shout out to Dad getting on first again, even though he's not in my hometown right now. So Dad, good to see you. Hugh, good to see you on the front end. Vicky, good to see you. Rick, of course. Vicky, let's see, Vance showed up. Anybody else? Hopefully I got everybody. If anybody else wants to say hello in the chat, maybe you're not a normal person in the chat, we'd love to hear. Doug, good to see you, Doug. You, Doug, James, T-Man. All right. All right, guys, you have 30 seconds again to say goodbye. Go vote on this. Lunchtime will be done with that, and I will be working on recording the all keys training for the Final Four. The final lick that you decide by lunchtime gets all the different bass lines we do for the all access group, or if you bought the bundle or even the course. I told you guys that earlier today. I said, if you get the course just this week, you get the new course bundle thing that I have, or if you just get the course, you're going to get the all keys training. I'm going to throw that in as a bonus. All right, have a great day, everyone. I'll see y'all in the next video. I said y'all. That's crazy. Awesome. Thank you, Vance. Yeah, and even Volume 4 has this right here. That's funny. Thank you, Vance. So Volume 4, just so we're clear, in addition to it having this cool bass line here, it also, we take things from Volume 1, which is this, But we say, let's extend it, right? And let's do it all the way up and down the keyboard. And so I teach you things like that. Awesome. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Keep having fun with music.